Ready?
I am.
There's no introduction. We don't have no MC.
Live from San Antone. From the old tired barn.
Welcome to River City Knits. I'm Elisa.
And I'm Enid.
And we're here at the end of a Saturday recording with our fun projects.
Mm-hmm.
Galore.
Yay.
And it's 2019, so Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's the 12th day of Christmas, so it's the Epiphany, so that means Christmas is over, and that means Mardi Gras begins. So those who celebrate Carnival, Mardi Gras, it's going to be fun times. So it should be really cool. So did you make any knitting resolutions or any, like, what you wanted to learn or do or anything for 2019?
Hell nah. No, I'm just kidding.
Me neither.
Well, no, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Be better. What? Be better. That's what I keep seeing all over the Instagrams and the Facebooks. Be better.
So Louise Tilbrook, she has her, when you mentioned Instagram, Louise Tilbrook Designs, she's been kind of like railing against all of that. She's been like, you know, all of this obsession of the Make 9 and, you know, what are your knitting goals and making all of these things. And someone, I, you know, read her posts and then people, you know, make comments and stuff. And one person's like, why am I putting goals for something I enjoy doing? This is my pastime. This is my hobby. Like, yeah, it'd be great if I learned something, sure, but I don't want to like limit myself to like these 9 projects or anything like that. This is where I go to relax, and I think that's where I am with my knitting.
Best 9 or Make 9?
Make 9.
That's a new thing?
Yeah, people choose like the 9 projects they want to complete.
Oh.
So in this case for 2019. So yeah, I mean, I really feel that way. Yes, I definitely get I definitely jump on bandwagons.
I guess if they're like big projects, like
this.
maybe one big goal or the starting point that we always bring to the podcast. But
yeah, my goal for 2018 was to finish
the
starting point that I started in 2017. So, but I think, yeah, I mean, definitely I believe like for maybe yarn dyers or project designers and stuff like that, definitely I think having those goals. But for me, I think my feeling about it is just, you know, I enjoy the craft and I make stuff and
process.
Yeah, I'm a process knitter through and through. So those things just don't really get me. And I know in the past I'm like, oh, I want to do this, and then I find something else that I want to do, and it's just like that gets left behind. So no, I just kind of want to just enjoy and concentrate on what I do. I love my socks.
I like to hear people be kinder to themselves.
Oh my gosh.
Like that should be a resolution for people to be kinder to themselves and not belittle themselves. Like, I am just a beginner knitter. No, girl, you've been knitting for 3 years. You're not a beginner. Not you. I've heard that from a lot of...
This is 7 years.
7 years.
7 years.
So I've heard that from a lot of people. Like, somebody knitted a pair of socks. I'm a beginner knitter. I don't know much. You knitted a pair of socks.
That's
like,
pretty amazing.
Seriously.
Yeah. You knit a shawl.
You knit a shawl.
Yeah.
You knit and purl. That's it. That's it. Everything else is just, you know, combinations of those and a couple little extra.
Some variation.
Two-togethers or whatever. But, you know, this isn't rocket science. We're not curing the major disease. It's just knitting. So relax and love yourself.
I think when we love ourselves more, we're also more apt to be able to, like, give that energy out and love others too. Because I think when you, like, talk about practicing kindness, one automatically thinks, oh, be kind to other people. But when you're kind to yourself, then that shows through. And I think that's really important.
I had a class today, and they already knew how to. There was this beginning knitting class, but these girls knew how to knit, and it was a great class. But she came in like apologizing for herself. She's like, I always have to look stuff up. I'm like,
so do I.
So do I.
Make one writes. The only reason I know that is because the R.
I never forgot that.
I know. Lisa, Use Your Yarn is like a genius to help me remember that. So
Look, I blushed a little.
I know. So when you make one right, your right equals rear, which is like comes from the back. So you take from the back.
Take it from there.
Well, what are you else? I'm about to do one right now, actually.
I'll never forget that.
I know,
ever.
It's genius. So there's some fun ways to remember things. But I still have my Kitchener Stitch saved from Pearl Soho, their website. It's super clear. I have it open. Half the time I don't even use it, but knowing that it's open and ready for me as I Kitchener my toe just makes me feel good. So I just keep doing that.
Yeah, I always like have to look at it and kind of read it once and go, oh, okay, yeah, okay. But so that's what I would like to see this year from other people.
I think that's like your intention.
Be kinder to yourself and forgive yourself for not knowing stuff. You're not going to be graded. Once again, this isn't rocket science.
Right.
And we're not curing diseases. We are just knitting and enjoying life. So once I got them relaxed and knitting, she was like, this is so relaxing. I'm so happy. And that was nice.
Oh, that's a good feeling.
Yeah. It was a good class.
So this is the first Saturday of the new year? Yeah, it is. So, so I think people with their resolutions and it's like, oh, I'm going to pick that back up again. And
Oh, no, these girls had this class scheduled for like 6 weeks out.
Oh, wow. They were ready.
Yeah. And I got a call like, 2 weeks out. We just want to confirm.
Aww.
I'm here.
Here I am. I'll be there on Saturday.
I'm here.
That's really cool. That's really cool. This morning I drove up to Austin. There's a group that of knitters and crocheters who meet the first Saturday of every month. Before we had been meeting in New Braunfels, but sometime last year the organizer Shonita kind of moved them a little bit further north for me, but south for a lot of them to South Austin, so not quite into like these little towns that are between San Antonio and Austin. So we meet in South Austin, and it's really nice and relaxing, and it was great seeing a lot of friends. I saw Susanna IC.
Oh, nice.
She was there. She said hello, and I'm supposed to give you a hug, so I'll give you a hug. And you won't hug now? Or in a little bit. I'll give you a Susanna hug. She gives the best hugs.
Yeah.
And so it was really great to see her, and Betty, and Rebecca, and Shonita was there, as well as Heidi. And Deborah was there. Deborah Ritter, remember, she joined us on a podcast.
Yeah.
She was here in town.
Hey, girl. Shout out.
I know. So I got to see her for a little bit, too. And then there were some other ladies that I've met a couple of times, but I don't know as well.
New?
No.
No.
They're like new. No, well, I've met them before, but I'm not like... I'm like, hey, good to see you. I don't always remember their names, but everybody's always really nice. So we met up, and I shared with them about the end of the month going to the Texas Keeper Cidery.
Yeah.
If you're in the area, if you're in San Antonio or Austin, I'm trying to organize a group of us to go out to Texas Keeper Cidery, which is in South Austin. I don't know where. I can find out that information. But let me know if you want to come. I'm looking at the last Sunday in January.
We'll leave the information down below.
January 27th. Anytime after 1 o'clock. I'm hoping it's a gorgeous Texas winter day. 65, 70 degrees, so we can sit outside.
80.
Yeah, today was like 80. It got warm. But it feels good here in the shop.
Yeah.
It feels nice. They do ciders, and one of the ladies who lives literally around the corner from there said they also make mead as well. So that's honey based. So, which I thinking back, there was a lot of bees around the area when I was there with my friend last month, and I think his sons found like a apiary, so that sounds about right. They have some meat as well. So Sunday, January 27th, anytime after 1, there's food and drink for purchase, and we're just gonna sit and stitch and hang out. There's picnic tables outside, so if you're more comfortable in a lawn chair, you can bring your own chair if you want. I talked with the organizer of the cidery, and she's totally cool with it. And she's also a stitcher. She crochets.
Oh, cool.
So she was really excited to hear that we'd be coming out there. So hopefully, I told her if she's working to bring her project.
Maybe
so
we can record a little something.
So yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to do that. So I was talking to the folks about that this morning. But Betty and I were sharing our Northeasterly blankets progress. I laugh because it doesn't look like a blanket because it's only 2 strips, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been an addiction. I can't stop knitting on it. And it's cool because I just grab a ball of yarn and then go, that's my next color. I'm not trying to coordinate. There are definitely people who are doing some amazing coordinating jobs, but I kind of like that this is just kind of coming out. However, yes, I do have literally like a whole section of delicious mustache yarn. But that was because that was in the bag that I first grabbed, and those were the yarn, little bits and bobs that were there.
So what I don't understand is, I've seen it where people do like, they've got like the stair step.
I know, it's beautiful.
What does that mean? Like, what are they going to go back and finish?
I don't know. That's how I have mine, because this is definitely not as long as I wanted. I do want it longer, but I wanted to start practicing on how to build the seams.
Okay, so did
that's
you cast off?
Nope, I just put a little...
Oh, so maybe that's what they did.
What is this called?
A waist yarn?
Waist yarn.
What did it?
So Betty's using DPNs. She has 6-inch double pointed needles, and so she says she inherited some from her grandmother and from her aunt. So she's got a plethora of needles. So she's just, I think she's got like 3 or 4 bands already formed. So she just keeps one DPN and plugs them in the ends. Huh. So that's how she's keeping hers going. So everybody's doing them differently.
I guess that's what they're doing then, just keeping them. But live. They can't like wait. They're stair stepping.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way. I actually want to stop soon and like start the next one. So yeah, I get that. It's really addicting. It's just a lot of fun. So this was my solstice cast on. So I just casted this on December 21st, and
I want to start one. I just don't.
Yeah, and it's fun. So
I don't think I have enough sock scraps.
Well, it can be shawl. It can be shawl scraps. I mean, it doesn't have to just be sock. It can be 100% wool. It doesn't have to be like...
Oh, I know, but this fingering weight is what
I mean. You're just talking... Okay, I understand what you're saying. I have a lot. I have a stash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, speaking of stashes, Betty DeLargy, is always a super generous person and just super wonderful. And so... dun, dun, dun,
holy
dun,
crap.
Dun. And mostly these are from a lot of her shawls. And I say she's very generous because not only does she give this to me, but most of her projects that she knits, she gives them away to friends. She's just a very generous woman.
Those are very you colors.
So Betty and I have very similar color palettes. Look at this butter. Isn't that beautiful? Mm-hmm. It's like super buttery. So we were having fun. This is Anna Cleric. This is Yarn Carnival. This is Undead Yarn. This is Heidi's yarn. So that was exciting. So it's fun because a lot of these are Texas local dyers, and so it kind of adds to just like the friendships and stuff. This one's Jeanette's. I can't remember what she was calling hers. Cloud?
Something cloud.
Skies, blue skies.
No.
Shimmers. They're shimmery in here. And speckles. Dark sky. Open sky. Look at this. It's just so rich and gorgeous. So Betty's just awesome and has shared a lot with me. So she's doing, because she'll have like a big bunch and she just does a whole strip in that same color.
Oh.
So what I did, I mean, it's how you want it, and that's what's a lot of fun. She's like, I just knit until it ends. So with this color, I then ended it and I put the live stitches, and then this is from my Opal Advent Calendar, and then I brought this color back in here, so it's part of that. So I just kind of split them, and then I finished it right here, and I'm probably gonna do the same thing with this one.
It's a great way to use up scrappy stuff.
You know, I think the mitered blankets are very beautiful. I love the Hexie Puffs, but I just couldn't get into them, and I feel like this one, I just can't stop knitting. So
really,
yeah, like I cast it off. I had a half object, my hoe, on New Year's Eve.
Your hoe?
My half object. H-O.
Hmm.
Wow.
Okay.
No, you don't call it that?
I had never heard of it.
Half object
Half object.
was my sock, which was
My hoe.
which was my
I was like, what?
Christmas Eve cast on. I casted this on Christmas Eve, and I finished it on New Year's Eve. So, but
I thought you were going to say my other hoe is on the needles.
my other hoe is on the needles.
I got hoe and
ho ho.
I was like, oh, she's being Christmassy.
No,
Half object.
half object.
Awesome.
So finished object. This is now it's a finished. Well, a finished
That's a
object will
faux.
be. Yeah, the FO will be when I'm done with them.
That's your foe and that's your hoe.
Such confusion.
I'm being silly.
I know, it's fun. So yeah, I haven't. This has
Go
been
back
since
to
New
knitting.
Year's Eve that I finished, and I casted this on, and all I've done is the cuff.
Awesome sauce.
So.
Oh my
So
God,
you're
I'm
working
sorry.
on a sock.
I'm working on my sock of shame.
It's not your sock of shame.
Be kinder to yourself. My
kind-
sock of
I
shame.
know. Look at this.
This is like my binky. Oh, that's so pretty.
There's a lot.
I have a project in the car that I almost brought in that I need to start working on. It was something that I promised to do to somebody and I didn't finish it.
Was it like somebody else's project?
Yeah.
Okay.
But of course the family's very sweet and they're just like, it's okay whenever, but I think it's been a year now. It's time for me to get it.
Wow.
So I got to get that going. But I also started this crazy sweater and I'm right now at a point where I need to get back to my computer and start designing the rest of it.
Right. So I think you need to you need to say that. Like, she's designed this.
I'm designing this. Okay.
It's amazing.
So this was supposed to be a Christmas sweater.
The Christmas orchestra concert.
The Christmas orchestra concert sweater. And I have a small child. He's 11 and he's very skinny. And I'm like, I can have this finished by then. No problem. But I overcomplicated the pattern, so it took me a little while. Had it been a little simpler, I might have finished it.
I think you totally would have.
Yeah. But I got crazy in designing it, and so here we are. Spirited Away is a Japanimation movie, and it's Studio Ghibli. I say it wrong all the time. I will leave a link down below so you can go watch the trailer because it's a super cute movie. And in the movie, this young girl is moving from one town to another. She doesn't want to go. She don't want to leave her friends. She's all bummed out. But they stop at a little resting place, and then her parents end up going into this it's like an abandoned place, but it's haunted.
What?
So
But she doesn't go in.
She doesn't. She goes in later looking for them. They get enchanted. So they get enchanted, and every year it's kind of like almost like, I don't want to say Dia de los Muertos, but where they pass over, the spirits pass over at a certain time at night to take a rest from the regular world. Something like that. And so there's lots of little characters and it's like a little cute story. But she's got to go to work now to pay off some debt to free her parents because her parents turned into pigs. Because they ate food they weren't supposed to. And they ate a lot of it and they turned into pigs. It's crazy.
There's lots of morals in this.
Yeah. A lot of stories.
There's a lot of stories, yeah.
They put her little booty to work, and part of it, there's these little dust mites, and so I put the little dust mites in there. I shouldn't have added these little eyes, these little white things, but I'm learning color work and stranding, and I didn't want the gap between white and the next thing to be too far. So I was like, let me just add some touches of white, but then it just distracts from the little bubbles of black. Also, it's on black and a navy blue, so it's hard to see. Anyway, stars. This is supposed to be the gate. I may have to go over it with some other stuff to make it more gatey, but who cares? Then the next one is this guy's the important guy, and that's why it took me so long.
This red strip?
This this guy.
Oh,
he's a dragon.
The dragon.
Is it time?
Yes.
It's time to turn off the camera.
Yes.
I'll turn it off in a minute.
Okay.
So this is my dragon, and this is Haku. That's a lot of color work, a lot of color changes, and a lot of long strand changes. So to get gauge so that there's still flexibility, that's really hard because you're carrying strands across long expanses and trying not to pull too tight on the stuff that's just waiting to be used. So I have a little bit of issue there, but maybe I'm hoping it'll block out. Then I did a little sun, a little stars. The next part is my lanterns. These are little Japanese lanterns. And a little checkerboard pattern, and now I got to work on the rest of it. So I've got maybe about 1 more inch before I start working on the yoke. So it's supposed to be a yoke-y.
Wow. So you have this whole color work design, and then you're gonna do a yoke.
So the yoke will have more of the characters, like no face, and the little mousy, and
I think, you know, looking at it from a distance and looking at it close up, I think as knitters we're so used to looking at everything so close up. You know, we're looking at all these little things that
to stand back and actually look at the piece.
It's really important.
Yeah.
I like lots of pieces of art. It's good just to stand back or just walk away from it for a little bit.
Yeah, so I've got, and because no face is pretty important, but Haku is more important. He's like, you gotta have the dragon in. I'm okay.
Salvador.
So, you gotta put the dragon.
Gotta put the dragon in.
So I have to put no face in there, and I may do it kind of like that really cool sweater that's out right now called For Fox's Sake.
Oh yeah.
I like how the foxes are big enough, and I think that's just the right size for my no faces. I don't know if I want to do that many no faces. I may change it.
Just so there's 2, maybe?
So there's 2 and there's something in between it, or so the yolks broke up into sections. So this is 144, and I've got 12 stitch to repeat. And that's how my lanterns are broken up and my gates broken up. So anyway, I got to figure out where I can make a motif that's either 12 or 24, and it'll be less stuff in the round. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But then as you get higher, you need to go
decreasing, right?
Yeah, you need to decrease, so your motifs need to get smaller.
That's where I was trying to figure out, because I'm like, okay, if you do the 144, the 12 times 12, but then as the yoke comes up, you need to decrease.
Make it smaller.
So you need to decrease in
it's like
4s,
12,
2, 4, 6, 8,
6, 2, 4, 3, and 2, or no. I don't know. I'm figuring it out.
Sal's gonna have a really awesome sweater.
So, okay. So I knew that this is what I wanted to do, but then looking for a pattern that will kind of help me gear the design, I found Strange Brew TinCanKnits. It's really good pattern because it's like a guide or a recipe to make this style of sweater. And she's got both versions. She's got top down or bottom up. And then she shows you how to break down and actually gives you examples, so you don't really need to make your own motifs. She's got motifs that you can use and you can mix and match, or you can just use it as she's got it, because she's got really great stuff. It's great. So get it on Ravelry, TinCanKnits, Strange Brew. And so, but it's so well written and so well explained that I was able to kind of like get through this skull to know what I'm doing. And so I'm doing bottom up. So you work with do the sleeves, and then I didn't understand, like, what do you mean? So you do bottom up, you do the sleeves, and then you join
under the arm.
It will join at the underarm, but you're not going to knit the underarm. You're going to knit this part first, and you're going to knit across and knit. You're going to pick up the stitches on the outside of the sleeve. So your underarm will be open until you're ready to Kitchener that close with the other piece. With this
That's
part.
interesting.
Yeah. And then you start knitting the yoke. Today is all about that.
Yes, we'll just use a lot of noises.
So really cool. Strange Brew, TinCanKnits, great pattern.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And good explanation. So there's that. I'm kind of stuck here because I don't know where to go from here so that it looks cute and Christmassy or Spirited Away-y.
So we hope that Salvador grows taller, not wider.
Not wider. I don't think he will.
Yeah, but his shoulders, he's a swimmer.
He's a swimmer. He's taking a break. He hurt himself.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
He hurt himself, so he hasn't swam for like 2 weeks. He hyperextended his chest muscles, his chest, so his sternum. He pulled the muscles in his sternum.
You said when he tried to do the butterfly.
But he was climbing a roof, trying to get down, and instead of going belly first, like
Oh my god.
turning around and reaching with your feet, he went this way.
What?
So he was sitting, and
I didn't know that's how he fell.
he had his arms behind him. Like he had his arms behind the roof like this.
Oh, because
And
he was holding.
He was holding himself. So he was sitting on the edge of the roof. Sitting at the edge of the
I
roof.
see it. I'm visualizing it.
Yeah. And he was doing this, and he was reaching the fence underneath him to put his feet down and then to stand up.
Then it slipped.
But then his feet gave and went underneath the roof.
Right.
So he's like holding himself, and he stretched himself. He didn't fall off the roof. He just stretched the muscles.
Yeah. So it's good to take a break. Let that heal.
Yeah.
That's always good.
Then he did take a break, took a week break, and then they had this mega practice on a Saturday, and I took him, and he called me back and said, I can't do it. It hurts too much.
Oh.
And he's not a baby. He had actually practiced for an hour and a half before he called home.
Oh my gosh. He must have been in a lot of pain then.
He was like, I can't do this.
Oh.
He did push-ups, he did everything, and he's like, I don't want to tell the coach I was a little intimidated. But Coach Jeremy's not intimidating. He just has a big grizzly beard. And he should be used to that because his daddy has a beard too.
I know. I'm like, that sounds like Scott. That's funny.
Anyway. So there you go. So I think he won't grow. He'll be skinny. He might get a little panza from not working for that.
No. Please, his metabolism's too, like, crazy, I'm sure.
But that hasn't stopped him. So he's not swimming. He's skating.
He's skateboarding. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there are a lot of knit-alongs going on right now on Instagram.
Are you niddling alonging? This is it.
This is it. Well, yeah. So this has a knit-along called just Easterly Along. But there's another one. I'm following the hashtag because I think it's really cool. Ambrose, is it Ambrose Yarns? Let me look here. Yeah, Ambrose Knits. She designed a bunch of Miss Marple inspired socks designs, and she's partnered with another designer, and they're doing a Miss Marple knit along. So if you're a fan of Agatha Christie and Miss Marple, that might be a fun knit along to join in. I'm kind of being a little shy about knit-alongs, but I am following it on Instagram just because I end up failing miserably. Aww. So I set myself up for failure, I guess.
I know, me too.
So
I
happy doing this stuff.
did that, signed up for that knit-along, the crochet along, the crochet advent calendar.
Oh, cool. I didn't know about this.
You were here. Ashley told us about it. She was like, trying to get us to do it with her.
Oh.
She's the one who got us in the starting point too, right? No. You started the starting point?
Yeah, she got us into the Marcel shawl.
The Marcel shawl.
Which she has not finished.
What is this? Is this like the curse of the I get it started and don't finish?
Yeah, because like I started the starting point and it took a year and a half for me to do. Our friend Claudine made 2 starting points before me finishing my 1. And then Ashley got us we were a nice sized group that did the Marcel wrap. And I think I was talking to Ashley. I'm all chismosa about it. I think she's literally got like 4 rows before bind off. She's like there, but she's like, I just haven't picked it up. So just finish it, Ashley. So it's really funny. But
so yeah, there was some crochet advent calendar thing.
Are they for little like?
And so the first part of it was to crochet the tree.
Okay.
I think I have it in here, and I'm like, hold on. I might have unraveled it already. Oh, I did.
Oh,
I had a little cone, like to fit on my thumb, like a little cone.
Oh,
that was a Christmas tree.
You're like, it's really a tree.
It's supposed to be a tree. And then they would send out, I guess, I don't know how often, but
I remember because she was trying. Well, it's probably daily because it's like you open a window a day or whatever.
I think they were doing a week.
A week. That's so, Helen Stewart does that. She does a week. There was like 4 patterns.
An ornament. So you got ornaments to put on the tree.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I don't crochet. So that wouldn't. That's probably why I'm like, I don't really remember that, but
I bought the pattern and maybe I'll do it next year and whatever.
Yeah, or you can even start it in the summer. That way at least you have a few done.
What's the other one I didn't do? Oh my god, we got so excited about that Steam Age one.
Oh my god. I still get the updates and I'm like, oh.
Did you sign up for that one?
Yes, because you guys did.
We got so excited about it. It was
you and Amanda were like all about it. I was like, this is
nerding out.
Too hard for me. So there's another knit along. It's a mitt along. Knitting Left is doing mitts. I'm excited because there's 3 mitt patterns that I've been looking at, and I have the yarn for them. So
are they full mittens?
Just the fingerless mitts.
Fingerless. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that.
Knit all the mitts. Well, those are my 3 patterns. Just whatever patterns you want. Knitting Left she makes really beautiful sock blockers. And she does really cool like designs, and you can get things personally designed as well. So she's also just launched mitt blockers. So I think that's one of the prizes from the knit along is to get a pair of the blockers.
Cool.
So you just use the hashtag, and I think she may have a Ravelry group too, but it's mostly on Instagram. So yeah, so it's, it's kind of cool. So these are some, I've been looking at hashtags. That's what I've been doing on Instagram, is following hashtags to kind of get some things. And I'm doing the Northeasterly, and it's nice just to get some inspiration and see what people are doing.
Yeah.
So it is kind of fun.
I've been frustrated with Instagram lately.
Why is that?
Because there's just so much. But I'll open it up, and I see a really cool picture, and before I can read the whatever or even see who it's from, it like refreshes.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
And I'm like, wow.
But I wanted to see that.
And I will scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and I never find that picture. Makes me so mad.
Another Instagram feature I love is where you bookmark on the side. So there's a lot of things I'll bookmark because it's like, as you always say, TLDR. There's like a long thing, and I'm like, I can't read it right now, but I'll read it later. Yeah. So I'll go through every couple of days and look at my bookmarks. So
maybe I should do that before it changes. Hit the bookmark.
See if it catches.
But I also, I know your Instagram is very tailored, like just knitting.
Right. I don't, I used to have food and travel and knitting, and I've kind of decreased all of that. Restaurants, I don't follow restaurants anymore. Oh, wow. Maybe a few. There's a few.
I got everybody and everything on there.
No, I'm trying to like.
And I started exercising. That's not a resolution. It's a life necessity. And I started before Christmas. I started back in November.
I was like, I think it was even before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we started in November. I started in November. And so I started following some weightlifters, because it's more weightlifting. And I get all of that. Then I follow some San Antonio social media girls. I get a lot of that. So my Instagram's all over the place.
Which is good. There's nothing wrong with that.
But they're not focusing on the other stuff. this stuff. Anyway, what's in the basket you bring to the table? This is a green one. So, I got pom-poms in the store.
So Enid has pom-poms in the shop, and I probably would buy every single one of them. But they're faux poms.
This one's cute.
I know. I bought that one.
Faux fur.
And I bought a purple one. So there's lots of fun colors, and then there's a little elastic attachment. Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's like
that's
silver.
There's a little elastic attachment to it, so you can like put like a little ribbon through there, and then bring it through the hat, so you can remove it if you need to wash the hat and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I love that you can remove it. So my niece loved the unicorn hat I made her. My sister thought I bought it. She was like, "Wait, you made this?" And I was like, "Yes, I made this."
Did she think you made the stuffy?
Well, she was like, "But how did you get the stuffy?" Is how she asked. And I was like, "It was part of a whole kit." She's like, "Oh, yeah." She's like, "How'd that unicorn come about?" Because that's not knitted. But my niece loved it.
Got all crazy.
Because it checked off all her requirements.
Pink, unicorn.
Unicorn. Unicornies, as she calls them.
I just dropped my stitches.
So...
what else is going on? So did you bring all the great stuff you've been winning lately? Because you're like the queen of the Insta prizes.
So I play a lot. There's a group of people I always tag on things.
So have we played the lottery?
I know, because I won 2 big prizes in 1 week. One was January 1. January_1 on Instagram. Her birthday was on January 1st, and she hosted 5 giveaways, like one a day, and the 5th one was like the big grand prize, and I won the 4th prize, like the 4th one, the day before that. And she was incredibly generous, and it was just really neat just to like, she did this last year too.
Did you win last year?
No, I didn't win last year. I didn't win last year, but I did play. So I was talking to my friend about it because I have my stuff shipped to the office, and I was like, "Dude, you have to see what I won." I was all excited about it, and he's like, I was like, and I won 2. I was telling him, he's like, "Didn't you also win mitts?" And I was like, "Yes." Itty Bitty Delights had a giveaway, and the Spice mitts, that's one of the ones that I want to work on.
You won mitts? Oh, you won yarn to make the mitts.
Yarn to make the mitts, yes. Okay. And but he's like, but like the knitting community is not like gazillions and bazillions. He's like, so. And I'm
we are. There's like, how many millions of them?
But how many of them play on giveaways?
On Ravelry? A million.
So.
That's a lot of odds.
Well, it's funny because Clara Parks talked about this. If you go to like Instagram and there's certain celebrities and they have the little like verified little blue icon, and she's like, you have to be a certain type of celebrity despite the number of followers that she has. She was saying, she's like, I don't get that. I'm not eligible for that. And she's like, and it's just like this whole circle because you have to be in the media and then the social media, and then the media has to pick you up. But how does that happen? She's to
get the blue certified,
the little certified checkmark icon, and I mean she's a New York Times bestselling author for multiple of her books, and still just we as a knitting community, know Clara Parks, but.
We have met her personally. We're like her best friends.
She's really cool.
She is really cool.
We took a class of hers from the First Hill Country retreat.
In the line behind me at the buffet. It was at the retreat. It was awesome.
She had a suitcase full of swatches.
I was more like this. Hi.
I remember in the class that we took, she opened up her suitcase. So she traveled to come to this retreat. She came to Texas for this retreat. And one of her suitcases was literally full of swatches. And it was just awesome. Just different swatches, different types of fibers, and different types of stitches, different size needles. It was really cool.
Yeah. Have you seen her Instagram right now? She's hot. The Insta stories and her Instagram posts about...
About wool.
Wool.
Yeah.
And that certain shop, Land's End. And what's that other place?
Well, it's like a lot of them. LL Bean, Land's End.
The Bean
yeah.
one. I was going to say, I don't know, I was going to say something.
So,
Judy Bean or something. LL Bean.
So.
That's an issue. It's a big issue. People will... I just commented on one of her posts. There's this one that she just posted where it's like a lamb... Even a lamb would wish it had a coat this soft. And it's made out of plastic... acrylic, essentially plastic garment, microfiber, whatever, that's so soft. But they comment about wool being itchy. It's not itchy.
Right, so they're perpetuating this whole like old stereotype.
And it's like these little phrases that people say hypnotize the general public to believing that they're truths. And that happens a lot in social media and in regular media. They'll just say this just one subtle phrase over and over and over again. It creates it makes it a truth.
Yeah.
Makes it a truth.
Makes it a truth.
And it's not a truth. Wool is not itchy.
Wool is breathable.
It is breathable. It keeps your feet cool.
It wicks, yep.
I wear my Allbirds all year long without socks. They don't stink. They breathe. My feet are cool and comfortable.
Right.
I actually have that, what do you call it? Foot thing. Arch pain. Plantar fasciitis. I have a lot of pain in my feet if I'm wearing the wrong shoes or if I'm not wearing shoes. But since I started wearing those, it's gone away because my feet are at the right temperature and it doesn't, like, I don't have pain when I stand up. So it was great. The wool is great. Wool is great, not itchy, not whatever. It's antibacterial properties. I mean, there's so many good benefits.
Right. Yeah, it's life fiber.
But you have these big companies that will make these subtle little comments that are not true. Yeah, wool might have been itchy years and years and hundreds of years ago because they didn't know how to process it, or they processed it too much, or it was a different wool grade, like not a merino but a something else that might have a little bit of a rougher texture. But that's not the truth anymore. So knock it off, people. Spread the truth.
Yes.
Wool is not itchy.
Yeah, so kudos to Clara Parks for bringing just keep continuously, pushing up against those different types of mindsets and stuff. So yeah, it's been really cool.
Jumping off the soapbox. We're all on the soapbox with Clara Parks. Anyway, what else is going on?
That's all I've got.
You didn't bring your prizes?
I didn't. I left them at work, and I didn't bring them. So it'll be for another podcast. I just had them in my stories yesterday, but I think they've already disappeared at this point.
Yeah.
So it was a brioche-inspired one. And I'm actually going to send 2 skeins to Lisa to use your yarn, because she's the one who tagged me on the post and alerted me to it. So I wanted her to get
that's cool.
a prize. So because I'm getting 8 skeins, it's insane. They're beautiful. They're amazing. So 2 will be going to Maryland.
8 skeins, 8 different colors?
Yes, 8 different colors. That's right.
Cool.
So, and then my other prize I got was from Skein Cocaine.
Skein Cocaine.
Gina. So that hasn't arrived yet, but it's only been a week.
You all know these people by their first name. First name basis.
No, not.
Gina.
January 1 is Kara.
Enidation.
Is Enid.
Is Enid.
Lone Star Arts is
Amanda.
Oh my goodness.
So silly. Well, I guess we gotta wrap it up.
I think so.
I gotta go home to my child. Feed them because they gotta eat or something.
So, well, thank you for joining us, and you have a wonderful evening and enjoying knitting or crocheting.